So this is Friday. And Friday is a lot of fun to play with. Let me put it right here. And it's an interactive UI that I've just been seeing a lot on the internet. And this one, you can just click on it really fast to open stuff up. There is like your folders, all of these stuff right here. Like let's say some active priorities. Let me say, okay, this is cool. Shoe. And there's some props that are for fun right here, some hands, and even like a little fireball that I can play with. Okay. And if you do need help setting any of this stuff up for my members, I already had this up for them. But you can see this is a fun interface to play with. But the real fun part really becomes when I start using my voice. So you can see where it says speak to Friday. I'm not going to say the trigger word. So if I say, hey, Friday, can you open up my school community? And you see, it does it because it has some memory of what my school community is. And it can even take actions on your behalf. Like if I say, hey, can you open up a Google Doc? Insert some passage about AI. I don't know. Cool. So this is kind of fun. And if you really want, I can also make it talk back. Hey, Friday, can you say something to me?
Sure thing. Hey, Friday. I'm here. What's up?
And this thing is powered by GPT-2 real time with my Codex subscription. And I'll show you how to set all of this stuff up. But, if you do want the repo right now, just if you want to play with it, hey, Friday, can you actually open up the repository in my school community so people can see where that is?
Let me pull that up.
Okay, thanks. And you can see right here, just pulled it up. And it is, if you're curious where it is, because this has memory, so it pulled it up. If you just go to right here, if you go to Classroom, under YouTube video resources, this is the first thing right here. And I've already been, showing my Cloud Club how to play with this for a while. But I think we really need to talk about where things are going with crazy demos like this and what we actually should pay attention to and where to go about it. So let's get into that. And to explain that, so imagine you walk into like a car show, right? And you're in the middle of the room and there's an insane concept car. And the doors open upwards and then there's like a cool dashboard and all that stuff. Maybe it drives itself. And you can see everyone has their phones out because it looks like the future. But the thing is, when the show kind of ends, let's say you ask the engineer, hey, what car do you actually drive home? And what he'll probably do is just point at a regular car. Because the concept car was really built to attract attention and demonstrate what's possible. The normal car was literally what was reliable to get him somewhere that he needs to go. And the reason I'm telling you this is because the internet naturally rewards this concept car. And everyone's showing stuff with like 20 agents moving around the screen. It's interesting to watch, but someone quietly, probably using ChatGPT to prep for a sales call or make some content, is getting way more use out of AI, but doesn't look nearly as cool. And the funny part is that I'm participating in this as well. I showed you Jarvis because it's cool, I got your attention, but I don't want to confuse the thing that performs well as content with the thing that performs well inside your business. Some AI systems, like this car, are optimized to be watched. Others are optimized to be used. But if the boring version of this is way more useful, why are we so attracted to the concept car? Well, it's because we don't really want Jarvis, we want what Jarvis represents. You probably don't wake up wanting more agents or more terminals and more windows moving around your screen. You probably want to get things done faster. Maybe you want some clarity and you want the repetitive work handled for you. And ultimately, you want to spend less time sitting behind your computer. And the desire is completely valid. I'm not telling you to stop being interested in technology like this. I'm saying we need to be careful not to confuse symbols of leverage with actual leverage. Because if your goal is to spend less time behind a computer, but you spend 3 weeks building a more complicated system to operate your computer, we have to ask whether we're moving towards your goal or away from it. How I like to think about this is imagine someone offers you a free employee. But this employee needs constant instructions, produces 10 versions of everything, and also requires you to review every piece of work. That might be financially free. Let's say it's a free GitHub repo, but they aren't really free because they're consuming your attention. And AI can feel like free labor because every individual action is super cheap. But if you're constantly prompting agents, you're watching them work, you're correcting their outputs, and rebuilding the systems, you may have just created another job for yourself. And this is how I always try to evaluate if I'm trying to explore something new. I always look into how much time it may take, which is me building, configuring, debugging, and maintaining it. Maybe how much attention it takes, which is prompting it, supervising, reviewing it, correcting it, and all the compute, because this part is also very, very important. Like how much tokens it's taking, where it's making the API calls, if I'm having to get another subscription, or where is this even processing, like my computer or a VPS. These are all very important to consider when we want to try out some new fancy looking tool or tech that just got introduced. And this is one reason I really like something as simple as the new ChatGPT Voice. Because instead of having to build an entire voice orchestration layer, I can just open up one conversation, think through my problems, and leave with a decision of something useful. Also, when it comes to tokens, you can see when we're paying for ChatGPT, rather than having to pay 11 Labs or ChatGPT through the API or something like that, what we can do is if you're on the ChatGPT Pro plan, it's unlimited access. Or even with the other ones, you get so much access for these, right? Without these subscriptions, when you're running Jarvis or all these things for a long time, the costs add up super, super rapidly. And I say that because sometimes building systems like these is genuinely fun. And that can be a good enough reason to do it, honestly. But we should really call that experimentation. And if you want to spend 10 hours automating a task that maybe takes 10 minutes, you haven't really created any leverage yet. That was a technical investment that still needs to earn itself back. Like what I'm trying to say is that AI is only leverage when the value of the result exceeds the time, the attention, and compute required to produce it. So, if we're going to spend all these resources, what work is actually worth spending the time on? And that brings us back to genuinely what moves a business forward, which is very clearly customer acquisition and doing lead generation. Because every business needs more customers. Therefore, customer acquisition is one of the safest places to look for valuable AI application. But lead gen is broad. Where should we actually get tactical and put our AI agents to work in? And to break it down, there's only 4 ways to really get new customers. Either it's doing cold or warm outreach, or it's posting free content or running paid ads. My favorite is posting free content because this lives as real estate and every piece of content compounds over time, no matter what business it is. So let me show you a practical example of how we can actually use a Jarvis type system. Let's say we're on the move and build something for lead gen. Okay, so what I'm about to do right now is I'm going to use the Jarvis mode on ChatGPT, and it's really easy to use. And then hit the voice icon, and it's super simple. It's the first thing that shows up. Hey, uh, I want you to actually start a new task, and in that new task, I want you to create a carousel for me. In my GitHub, I think it should already be downloaded. Look at the Pixel Pal style skill, download it, and then what I want you to do is create a carousel about Jarvis using ChatGPT Voice and how you can use it to do lead gen activities like making carousels or helping make content, stuff like that. Okay, spin up a new task and then let me know.
Got it. Let me get started.
So, just so you guys understand, what I told it to do is I already have these skills. So, for example, if I go to my classroom in my school and right here, I have this Pixel Pals carousel skill that I really like. And I wanted it to make a carousel like this about using Jarvis mode to make lead gen. And I just told it to do that. And now what it should be doing, actually,
It's all set. The task created 6 carousel slides plus a ready to post caption, and the zip is open in Finder for you.
okay, thanks. Okay, I'm gonna exit this, but you can see, okay, I'll show you what happened. So if I pull down my codex, it what my Jarvis did is right here, it created this new task because what you can do is you can tell it to create new task and you use it like an orchestrator and use better models to create these kind of carousels. And I think these look pretty nice because it's using that skill and I'm using my computer through my phone. That means I could have been anywhere in the world and I can be getting work done because I'm using Jarvis as an orchestrator and I didn't have to build anything or it didn't cost me any tokens at all. You can see this is a cool little carousel. It's pretty cute. I love it. So that's a very practical example of actually building out content while I'm walking around, for example. Now I could just have asked it to, hey, post this on Instagram for me. And this would help me get more views, which means it grows my audience, and which means I get more eyeballs onto my offer. So that was a very easy example, but let me show you what you guys were probably waiting for, which is how to actually get the fancy looking Jarvis set up in your computer like I showed you. All I'm going to do is go find my post right here, link to repo. So this link should be down in the description below, and you can see it's called Friday. That's a funny picture of me. And right here, what I'm going to do is come here and I'm going to go open my ChatGPT app. And I'm just going to do this right here just for fun. I'm going to paste this. And all I'm going to say is, hey, can you set this up and open it in my Chrome? Let me get this going. So I'll let this load and I'll show you what to do. But one more thing I just want to show you is what you should do is go to your settings. If you have ChatGPT, the voice mode, and then go to voice. And what you want to do is set a hotkey, right? So how I make it work is essentially what I say is like, hey, trigger my hotkey when I say X word. So it's always going to be listening and it triggers this hotkey. And so, for example, if I just trigger my hotkey, you can see this little guy appears and I'm like, hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
Can you open my Google Calendar?
Okay, sure.
And you can see that's how it just works. It's very simple. Okay. So after this is up, what you can do is make sure you set your hotkey and then if you go back here, you can say something like, hey, I set my hotkey for my voice to activate with Control Option V. Can you make sure you map that with whatever trigger word? I think I'm saying, hey, Friday. Edit the repo such that whenever I say, hey, Friday, it triggers and opens this voice mode. Okay. And that's what you want to do. So I'll come back once this is done and I'll show you what this looks like. Okay, so this took a while and hopefully this is zoomed in so you can see. But all it is, it says I'm done, open this here. And you can open it inside the Codex browser as well, but it shouldn't work. Um, Actually, it does work. That's cool. I'm just going to open this in Chrome with this button right here. Cool. So I open it up in Chrome and then you can see this is Friday. I can move it up or down. I can make this claw thing and then it comes to me like this. Oops, I messed up. It needs to wind up. And then boom, I got it. And then I can click. Yep. And if anything, I have the vault, the props, all this stuff. And if you guys want to, check out stuff like this, I highly recommend you join this Claude Club. I'm always there sharing all these new cool stuff. But if, you are still trying to learn more agents, and there is one more really cool agent that I really want you to learn, and it's called Hermes Agent. And you're going to find this video right here. So watch that video. And with that, you can do a lot of stuff that's super useful with your ChatGPT subscription. So highly recommend you check that out and do it with a VPS potentially as well, because that gets all my members a lot of value. So I'll see you in that one.